What up, what up? So today we've got hamstrings and calves. On my first workout, I start with wide-legged squats just to bring the whole focus on my hamstrings and a little bit of my glutes as well. This workout is new for me because usually what I like to do is I like to keep my legs just a little bit closer together, just bringing the focus on the quads as well as the hamstrings, because that's what back squats tend to focus on. So on this one, I go for a couple of reps as my warm-up, focusing on just the movement, making sure that I'm doing it right, and making sure that, as far as I'm aware of, that the only muscle working on here is the hamstrings as well as the glutes. Then I go into my second set, which is a little bit heavier, but it's not too heavy that I can't handle. Like I always say, it's more one where I can do it for as many reps as I'm comfortable with, and obviously looking to move it to a heavier set at some point. So on this one, I go for 100 kilograms. I go for as many reps as I can, as many reps as I'm comfortable with, focusing on the movement being going onto the right muscles, and then also allowing myself to understand that even if I can't go any heavier, the most important thing is growing the hamstrings, which means I have to make sure the movement applies to that area as well. And this one is important as well too. It's kind of like you have to kind of stick your bum out just a little bit. That way the whole load does go into the hamstrings as well as the glutes. So on this one, this was my heavier set. This was my third set. So this was my heavier set, around 140 kilograms. I've put my arms a little bit wider than usual just to give the whole weight, just to put the whole weight towards my hamstrings and my glutes as well. That way it's the only way I can lift this is with my hamstrings and my glutes. Then I move on to the Romanian deadlifts. On this one, I'm sure you've seen me do it a couple of times on other YouTube videos. So on this one, I go as a warm-up set again. Literally on this one, it's just focusing on, again, the same thing. The main muscle being trained is the hamstrings. So you don't need to put the bar onto the floor. All you really have to do is go as low as you can while pulling on the hamstrings as well. And that way you'll be able to feel it a lot more. Instead of, don't turn it into a deadlift, it's more like a partial deadlift. Then I move on to my second set, which is the set where it's not too heavy and it's just comfortable enough for me to get this done. Making sure I go for as many reps as I'm comfortable with, but because I know at some point I'm gonna go for heavier weight. So yeah, then I put that away and move on to my third set, which is this. That was a little bit hard just because, again, the grip does tend to get a bit harder and the weight will start to slip off, especially as you start going for as many reps as you can think of. Usually I tend to go for 10 reps, make sure the movement's correct, and then I put the weight away. Then after that, I did go for my heavier set on this one. Usually I tend to stick to the 140 kilograms just because it's better for my grip, because I can grip it a lot longer. But when I tend to go for the heavier weight, which is in this case the 180 kilograms, it does tend to get a bit harder and my grip isn't strong enough to keep it on me for a long time. So something I'll have to work on definitely will be my grip in the future. So on that one, I could only do it for one rep. It was my heaviest, but I felt even one rep was better than no reps at all. Then I move on to a little bit of machine work, just to get, again, the hamstrings growing, getting the hamstrings strong, making sure that I've exercised them with different variations of exercises. That way I'm not just stuck in just one way of growing the hamstrings. There's several workouts I could have done that day, but I just stuck to the ones I knew were the best ones for the hamstrings. So this one it was quite a good workout. I could feel my hamstrings getting stronger while I was doing this. So I definitely did enjoy doing this workout for sure. For future references, I might decide to do different workouts when it comes to hamstrings as well. I'll ask you to look to see what best workouts would be for doing hamstrings. And I might even have to start doing body weight exercises as well. Then I move on to the calves. So on this one, it was quite easy. You're just focusing on getting those calves to grow. Doing it for as many reps as I was comfortable with again. But on this one, because it was the last stack, I was just going full on, and yeah.